In this week's Meta Snapshot, I brought to you this deck by Armored One. He did a great video on YouTube, and I definitely recommend you going back and watching his. Shout out to Armored One for coming up with this. Guys, this deck has proven to be the new cheese. We've just had player Potato or YY hit rank 1 on the ladder with this, and I've done very well with it, and Choco's done very well with it. I played it live on stream. It is just a very, very good deck. And the cool thing is there's actually 2 variants. Now, the key thing that this deck is doing is the same. There's a question of whether you want it slightly more control-based, with more draw, more heal, or whether you want more of a proactive pressure kind of mid-range deck. And now YY, who hit rank 1, played it more as the mid-range. This is the version I showed you, or similar enough to the Meta Snapshot. This is the one I've been running, which is a little bit more control variant. And essentially that's because we run the 2 copies of the Blessed Soup, and we run the Bearer of the Broth. And what that does is every single turn it gives us a card that heals 2 and draws a card. So it gives you a draw engine. But it does form you, and I take YY's point on this, he did say like it does force you into a kind of control mindset, and it can feel a bit clunky. Whereas actually when you look at the deck, it's got like turn 1 instrument of the holder, right? So you get the 1 true timeline down. And then the idea is that you want to be playing turn 2 for either the Territorial Pack or the Secret of Truth. Both are really high pressured turn 2 drops in their own right. And then turn 3, Shattersmith, that automatically levels up to the Rift Mender, giving you a 6/6 on 3 is about as good as it gets, right? So that pressure is not something you want to then give up on and suddenly revert to like a control mindset. You could drop Sapper on 4, you could drop, or you could play it on 5 with like the Balm. There's lots of different, depending on what other early drops you got. You could play, obviously, even into your Bare Knuckle Inquisitor, and then all the big stuff comes on. Now, the core win con, which is playing spells and then using the Stern Arbiter to... This guy is an absolute machine in this deck. It's phenomenal. Why? Because, as I said in the Meta Snapshot, you basically play Rumpus. Rumpus gives you discounted cards that only cost 1. Throwdown's usually 2, but they cost 1. And so therefore you can play multiple discounted cards, and that's how you level up. Stern Arbiter, when it sees 3 cards with reduced cost, it levels up. And then this thing has an activate ability. Remember, that means every single turn you can just activate the card and return a spell from your graveyard. Now, when you've got spells like Focused Adaptation on these big meaty bodies that are just healing and blocking incoming attacks, or if you want to bring something like the Rescind to put back your enemy big units, or you want to bring Unstoppable Growth, the list goes on. And actually that Swiss Army Knife ability makes it really good for playing quite a lot of one-offs, and that's why I've got a 1 of Set in Stone and a 1 of Symbiosis. Now very quickly I'm going to show you YY's version of the deck, because like I said, he did actually hit rank 1 with the deck, so it's only right that we show you. And you can see he's dropped all of that heal and draw nonsense. And that frees up the ability to play, for example, things like Curb the Anomalies. And I think he even plays 1 single Affront of Nature. I really don't like that card, so I've put a second Set in Stone in. But the point is that those one-offs are really, really good because, again, it gives you more choice when you play Stern Arbiter. And remember, when you do play Stern Arbiter, it does actually then make that card erase from the game. So you can't keep recycling the same spell, like in the graveyard, back out, in the graveyard, back out. So, yeah, basically, either go more proactive and go for pressure and end the game with Arbiter, or you can play it slightly more slower paced and control. But either way, this deck is super powerful, guys. It is definitely one of the new cheese. It's great that we found this deck, and the good news is, with the announcement of the patch notes, this deck isn't really going to change. It's actually going to be just fine. So I think it's going to be very powerful for the rest of the month. So let me show you a game so you can see this in action. This was an incredibly close game, guys, against a good player. So definitely check this game out to the end and let me know what you think. I'm really keen to let me know in the comments if you see any lines that I could have done differently. So like and subscribe, and let's jump into the game. Okay, so we're up against Cephalopod. Great player. Really love his deck building. And it looks like we're up against the tier 1 deck as well, which is the Mountains discard deck. So this is going to be a tough match, and also really interesting to see because, like I say, this deck is phenomenal right now. Mountain discard. It's very strong, and I actually think that, to give Cephalopod his due, I think his version of the deck is the best version. So it's pretty standard stuff on turn 1, right? We're looking to get our timeline active. He's obviously got his 1-2 combo. It's a brilliant 2-turn combo. This levels his 2-drop really easily, and we're just debating whether to use the backhand now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I don't actually have a 2-drop. So what's the point in even letting it level? I could have saved it. It's not like he has other copies of it in the deck. It is a diver. I could have saved it, but I decided to go ahead. Obviously, the 3-drop Shattersmith is super powerful in this deck. Like a 6/6 on 3 is really, really good tempo and board presence for us. And we can just go ahead and attack. And the reason I'm doing that as well is I don't want his board to get too wide. I want to try and make him work for everybody on the board in the early game, because that makes the advac harder to activate, right? If he gets that off too early, that's one of the ways in which that deck can overwhelm. I'm also going to slam dude down here because we do have the invigorating as well, which can help. So if he tries to rapid iteration us, which does 4 damage, we can play the 1-cost invigorating balm and turn that into a 3/5. Now he has obviously dropped Ziv, knowing really that we don't, or at least thinking we don't really have an answer. We do actually have, we could play the 4-cost here and just put him back to hand. Now, putting him back to hand, you might be looking at his level up there and think, but it doesn't matter because it's just about how many discards have happened. So we don't prevent his level up either way. And my thinking is like, I could do it now. Maybe we should do it now. I kind of would rather wait till he's attacking, though. That is the thing for me. I'd rather wait till he's attacking. There is an argument, though, when you look at the mana here, that it's efficient to do it here. But then the problem is he can just play it again next turn and still attack. So we're not denying an attack, even though we're gaining tempo. I'm actually doing this incorrectly. I actually played the balm on him. I honestly think in the moment I was overthinking the 4 thing so much that I forgot that it's round end. So that was just a blatant misplay. Thought it was being mana efficient, but I wasn't. It was just a blatant misplay. That was a complete wasted card. So first error of the match, 100%. Main error goes to me. Now, obviously Ziv is getting pretty big, so we've got to keep that 4 ready. Now he has tapped under 5, and he's also tapped under 4. Now tapping under 5 means he can't replay it. Tapping under 4 means he can't target this spell with the time stop. And that's massive when you're playing against this deck. Whenever he hasn't kept the 4 mana up for the time stop, that's your opportunity, right? So I'm taking that opportunity there. Obviously, we could have waited till he swung. He was always going to swing there, but it doesn't matter because he can't replay it anyway. But maybe we should have waited because it kind of affects potentially how we... Yeah, so we maybe should have waited till the attack because now he plays this first, which he might not have played first. So the ordering of these things, these seem like little decisions, but they do matter. So I'm considering whether to rumpus here because we're looking at the hitting the board before the guy levels up. We could well do it. I don't mind getting a kind of... But now we're actually just going to go ahead and do this instead. Save. That's how you're supposed to use BAM. There is an argument for saying we should have hit the rumpus there because we could have taken out all but 1 unit on his board. And you kind of don't need to feel bad about playing like what I call a minor rumpus because you're going to get them back. Once you've got it in the graveyard, you can get them back with the stern. So maybe rumpus should have been played there. It's super interesting. There's a lot of different, lot of micro decisions here. There's a lot of different lines. And if you certainly would have done something different, then let me know down below in the comments. It's always good to get different perspectives from the community. We're all here to learn. All right. So we're going to go ahead and try and kill that Ziv before it can level up any further. And now we're going to try and AoE the board. And again, you know, rumpus is really good against Singularity, by the way, guys, because Singularity have Time Stop. And Time Spot is so good at denying like a throwback, or, you know, something that's just like a one-off spell. But with Rumpus, you have so many, it forces multiple one-drops. So if he Time Stops, you can just play another one-drop and do what you were doing anyway. So it's actually a good counter to Time Stop. And in this Stern deck, I honestly think Rumpus is like an S tier card. Like, it is so powerful. I think we didn't need to necessarily make this attack because our guy would have healed. So we've sacrificed our guy, but at this stage, I think I was trying to slow down his automatic card draw, but he's got another one anyway. And then the question is, do we just blow up the board here now and just have our Sapper? But the problem is, if we do this, we're at risk of him having another. If he has the one drop deal 2 damage, then he really does just outplays us here. But I think I calculated. I think he's already used one, but instead he just has another. So he's played all 3 of these guys, and down comes the mountain. So this is a really, really good outcome for our opponent, and it's pretty scary. And I'm sort of looking at this, and I'm like, we're going to take some big damage here. Now that's a nice draw. Picking up the 4-drop is nice. I'm not going to lie, but we've got a few different ways we could do this. So we're actually going to go ahead and play Zealot, and we're going to see whether we can force another mountain. Now, from his side of things, and it'd be good if Cephalopod's watching this. It'd be good to get his thoughts in the comments, but I'm wondering whether he's trying to play out of sight here, because what this play by us does is it forces him to consider, does he want to put 2 mountains down? If he puts 2 mountains down, obviously we could out of sight and kill them both. But instead, very wisely, he finds that spot. Now look at this, guys. Look what turn it is, and he's found his first spot to play Aardvark. So we did do a good job at kind of reducing the board. It finally gets it off. He's always going to get it at some point, but I'd rather him be getting it at this stage in the game. And also when it's our attack next. So he's given us the overpower turn, right? Which is pretty nice. So we're going to Stern Arbiter here, I think, and I think we're going to get the Rumpus. There is a really good argument that we should have just gone with the 6-drop again, and this time we could have killed the mountain. But Stern can be tricky, right? Because one of the things with Stern can be like, when do you weave it in? Like, when is it safe? And sometimes it's like, on your attack, this is the safety net. Otherwise, you could do it after he's just attacked. But often you don't have that luxury. So we're going ahead, and we're going to use the Rumpus now, and I'm going to target the 1-drop. And the reason for this is, I don't take much damage, but if I kill it, obviously turn his 8/8 into a 1/1 because of the special ability. Special ability is when we kill something, we turn the strongest enemy unit into a 1/1. So that's the thinking behind this line. Now, what does he do to counter this? He knows we've got another 4 of these potentially. So his time stop is no good here. We'd be really happy to see a time stop here. So how's he going to do this? Okay, so he lets that one go. We now level up, and we turn his 8/8 into a 1/1. So what is his answer to this? His answer is to just pass. And so what he's trying to do now, guys, is just waste our Rumpus. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit him with the bomb. Okay, that levels up Stern. This will do 2 damage to the 4/4, and then obviously the bomb explosions will kill it and basically wipe his board. So this would be a time stop if he's got it. So what he's doing instead, which is very clever from Cephalopod, is he realizes, well, he can't really time stop because I'm going to just hit him with another Rumpus. So he thinks, I might as well take out your Stern with, if you're going to blow the board up, your Stern's now going to die 2 from the explosion. Now, I'm sitting with this hand going, well played, nice play, but I've got another Stern in hand, so I can just activate the Stern's ability now because he's leveled up, and just accept that the Stern dies in response to killing your board, and then I've got another Stern that I can play anyway. So, but it is a very nice, it is the best of a bad situation for our opponent there. And you really see the power of Rumpus here in this matchup. I mean, I think it's so dominant in the kind of back and forth battle of initiative, where time stop is often the most dominant in those situations. I think this is one of the things that elevates this deck. And it's also given me a whole new respect for that card Rumpus, because I've struggled with it in the past. It can be clunky, but my God, it's just beautiful with Stern Arbiter. It's just absolutely beautiful. So there is an argument to playing, getting rid of Ziv again here, just in that because he's only got 4 real mana down. It means that he wouldn't be able to replay it this turn. But instead, I'm just going to get the overwhelm in. We don't have the timeline on for him healing. He's only got 1, and obviously Singularity has a million ways to kill it. So kind of just wanted to get that damage in, and I decided to put a little bit of pressure on the life totals. So now he's down to 4 cards. My God, he's got another one of those. His card draw engine's been insane in this game. And I think soon I'm going to start thinking about like how many cards does he even have? I'm actually going to take the opportunity here to just sacrifice the Sap Sapper. I've done so well at blowing up wide boards, and he's only got 3 cards, that I'm kind of happy to take out a Ziv, to trade a Ziv for a Sapper there at this stage in the game. Now, we didn't have to do it. We didn't have to do that. There were other ways we could have played around that, and we could have prioritized keeping Sapper. And maybe we should, right? Because, like, obviously we're enabling his 5/1s to come down now. So I'm not sure that that was actually the correct line of play. But look at this, guys. He's now got 11 cards left in his deck. We've got 26. So part of me is thinking, like, can we fatigue him here? We got 25 health. He's got 9. Although, honestly, if that was the case, maybe we should have prioritized keeping Sapper. I'm kind of not majorly regretting, but I'm irking towards the side that was potentially a misplay, or at least an incorrect. It wasn't the optimal line. Maybe keeping Sapper, because this 5/1 strategy now it does become a win con for him with so few cards left. Whereas if we kept Sapper alive, the 5/1 thing was still a problem for him. So. Although he'd still get overpower, even though he would die to the thing. I'm not sure. Right, what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take the 10 damage, but we're going to then heal for 7, right? We're going to heal for 7, get a nice, fully loaded 3 cost. The only problem is our I don't know, man. Like our energy is awkward to manage here. We can't drop Stern this turn. He gets a tempo play here, and I think we might have to pass. This is bad management. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I definitely have not played this game optimally at all. We're doing okay, but we've not played it optimally. Really need to get the Stern and the 6-drop on the board. We're on the attack, so I kind of want to play with the 6 here. We kind of want to play Kayla here, like, when we've got the attack token. But I'm feeling it would really feel so much better if Stern was down. It's trying to find the opportunity to get Stern down. Now look at this. So now he's been holding these removals. I was wondering where the iterations were. So he goes all in, but we have a beautiful answer here. We actually had a couple, but this is a really nice answer that we can heal. Really hurting, really punishing, actually. I mean, to be fair to Cephalopod, like, what option does he have, right? Like, he sort of has to do it. So now what he does is he very cleverly kills his own 1/1, which obviously would be the target of the level up. I'm not sure why he had to do it there. He could have done it when I attacked, because he's kind of like enabled me to get an attack off now with the 8/6, whereas if I targeted the 1/1 and then he killed it, he'd essentially have wasted the 8/6. I think that was a small misplay on Cephalopods. But let me know if you see something I'm not seeing there as to why he did it there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something I'm not quite seeing. Now then, the first chrono happens, and so he's copying this guy. Now this is where I'm like, okay, dude, you've got You've got 5 cards in your deck and you want to copy a card that draws 3? Be my guest. Like, obviously earlier in the game, I'd be terrified with this, but at this stage in the game, I'm kind of happy to see that, right? We dealt with 2 mountains. He's not copying the mountains, so pretty happy. I think he has played around. I think he's played around out of sight this game. I think he's been. I'd be really curious to know if he had opportunities to play 2 double mountains and he just didn't want to get out of sighted. No, he's used 2 time stops. He's used, I think it's 2 mountains in the graveyard. I'm trying to figure out what he's got left here. But he's down to 5 health and he's got 2 cards left. So to me, this looks like a decent Arbiter turn. Finally get the Arbiter down. The good thing is that so many of the cards that Arbiter brings back are kind of immediate effect, which is another thing that's making this combination very, very powerful right now. I do love this deck, by the way. And our opponent gives up. I hope you enjoyed that video. And hey, before you go, make sure you hit the like button down below. It really supports the channel and it's going to help the game of Chrono to grow. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out this one next.